Dear student, Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Nurul Karim Mahmoud Musallin, Professor of Surgery, Jalalabad Ragib Brahma Medical College. I would like to discuss with you about a very common topic, that is acute cholecystitis. This is my identity. I am working in Jalalabad Ragib Brahma Medical College, Sylhet. Now let's go to our today's topic. Our today's topic is acute cholecystitis. You know, most of the patient presented with chronic cholecystitis, but some of the patient also presented with severe upper abdominal pain, which is associated with fever, nausea and vomiting. And if we think this is a case of cholecystitis, this may be the acute cholecystitis. So now, what is the definition of acute cholecystitis? The acute cholecystitis is acute inflammation of the gallbladder which leads to signs symptom of upper abdominal pain, vomiting and other conditions. Commonly, it occurs in a patient with pre-existing chronic cholecystitis. But often also can occur as first presentation. The usual cause of acute cholecystitis is impacted gallstone in Hartmann pouch. From anatomy, dear student, you know there is an anatomical pouch present in the neck of the gallbladder, which occurs due to impaction of stone at the neck, which is called Hartmann pouch. If any stone is impacted within the Hartmann pouch, which leads to increased pressure within the gallbladder, also cause bile stasis, which leads to acute cholecystitis. Now, how can we classify acute cholecystitis? Acute cholecystitis may be classified according to presence or absence of stone. That is, acute calculous cholecystitis, which is about 90% of acute cholecystitis, and acute acalculous cholecystitis, which is about 10% of acute cholecystitis. Now, we want to know which types of bacteria acts on development of acute cholecystitis. You know, there are different types of bacteria which is present in the biliary tree and also in the GIT. But these are the common bacteria which take parts in development of acute cholecystitis. The first one is E. coli, which is the most common bacteria that take part in pathogenesis of acute cholecystitis. Others are Klebsiella, Pseudomonas and Proteus. Staphylococcus faecalis, Salmonella and sometimes the Clostridium welsii. The whole types of bacteria take part in pathogenesis of acute cholecystitis. Now, what is the pathogenesis? You know, if any stone is impacted in the Hartmann pouch, which leads to obstruction of the cystic duct. The obstruction causes stasis, edema of the wall, and bacterial infection, which leads to acute cholecystitis and its effect. So the main pathogenesis of acute calculous cholecystitis is impaction of any stone in the Hartmann pouch. In this video, we may see or show the pathogenesis of acute cholecystitis. So this is liver and this is gallbladder. This is cystic duct, and these are the bile, and these are the gallstone. If any gallstone is impacted, which leads to blockage of the duct, that's increasing of the pressure, and finally stasis and infection. So in this way, acute cholecystitis occurs, and which leads to the sign symptoms. Now, what are the pathology of acute cholecystitis? Pathology means what are the changes occurs in acute cholecystitis. This gallbladder will be distended and edematous with friable wall. The wall contains dilated vessels. Area of necrosis and patchy gangrene may occurs in severe cases. The lumen contains infected fluid or infected bile or frank pus. So these are the pathologies which present in a case of acute cholecystitis. Histology shows features of acute inflammation with neutrophils, edema, an area of necrosis and cell death. And what are the complications of acute cholecystitis? There are so many complications. The most common complications are empyema of the gallbladder, gangrenous gallbladder, perforation. Perforation occurs in 5 to 10% of the acute cholecystitis, which usually occurs in the fundus or in the neck of the gallbladder, that is in Hartmann pouch. Peritonitis, pericholecystic abscess, cholangitis, and finally septicemia. So these are the dangerous complications of acute cholecystitis. If we diagnose a case of acute cholecystitis, it should be treated accordingly. Otherwise, these type of dangerous complications may occur more than 12 hours. The pain radiates to back and refer to tip of the right shoulder, and it will associate with nausea, vomiting, and also fever. Now, what will be the examination findings? If we examine the patient, then we may find patient is toxic with rise of temperature, tachycardia, and tachypnea. The upper abdomen is severely tender with muscle guard and rigidity. Palpable, tender, smooth, soft gallbladder may be present. Murphy's sign is positive. So the Murphy's sign is the hallmark of examination of acute cholecystitis. So this is the procedure of Murphy's sign. In Murphy's sign, we should place our thumb just below the tip of the ninth costal cartilage, and patient hold the breath at the zenith of inspiration. Now, what are the differential diagnoses of acute cholecystitis? You know, the acute cholecystitis causes severe upper abdominal pain. So there are so many conditions which causes upper right abdominal pain. The most common causes are the duodenal ulcer perforation, the acute pancreatitis, acute appendicitis, acute pyelonephritis, lobar pneumonia, and myocardial infarction. So, the condition which leads to upper abdominal pain, all are the very dangerous condition. So, it should be defined which one is the cause of upper right abdominal pain, and treatment should be prompt. Now, what will be the investigations of acute cholecystitis? The investigation of choice is ultrasonography of the whole abdomen with special attention to hepatobiliary system and pancreas. Now, what are the findings? The gallbladder is distended, thick and edematous gallbladder wall. It is thickened gallbladder wall. Pericholecystic collection may be present. This is another hallmarks of ultrasonographic findings of acute cholecystitis, pericholecystic collection. There may be collection of fluid around the gallbladder. Echogenic structure impacted at the neck of the gallbladder, casting posterior aquastic shadow. This is a video of ultrasonography where these are the gallstone which was impacted at the neck of the gallbladder, and this is thickened gallbladder wall. And the gallbladder wall is edematous. And finally, we may find the pericholecystic collection. This is gallstone, and the blackish area is pericystic fluid collection. So, the all findings are hallmarks of acute cholecystitis in ultrasonography. Now, what are the supporting investigation? The liver function tests are the supporting investigation. These are serum bilirubin, ALT, alkaline phosphatase, and prothrombin time if required. Now, what about the plain X-ray of abdomen? Though plain X-ray of abdomen is not a specific investigation for diagnosis of acute cholecystitis, but it may reveal some differential diagnosis. It has important role out to rule out the duodenal ulcer perforation. So, plain X-ray abdomen may reveals the free gas shadow under the right demoid diaphragm or both demoid diaphragm, which define it is duodenal ulcer perforation. But 10% of the radiopaque gallstone also may be detected, though it is not more very important because 100% of the gallstone is diagnosed by ultrasonography. But in a plain X-ray abdomen, about 10% gallstone may be visible. This is visible gallstone and which is only 10%. Pancreatic and renal stone also may be ruled out by plain X-ray abdomen. This is the row of pancreatic stone. Sometimes renal stone may also visible. So, for differential diagnosis, plain X-ray is very important. and some investigation will be done for general preparation or general anesthesia preparation. These are full blood count, renal profile, random blood sugar level, chest X-ray, and electrocardiogram if over 48 years or medically indicated. This investigation should done in all types of general anesthesia patient. Now, what will be the management of acute cholecystitis? There are so many options or so many protocol of acute cholecystitis. So, you, the doctor, will decide which protocol should be followed during management of acute cholecystitis. There are three types of protocol or three types of option for management of acute cholecystitis. So, these options are early cholecystectomy. Early cholecystectomy may be done after controlling of sign symptom by conservative management. Then operation may be done in next available 30 days. The other is emergency cholecystectomy. Emergency cholecystectomy means the cholecystectomy needs as early as possible after the admission of this patient. And finally, the conservative treatment followed by routine cholecystectomy. This cholecystectomy was done on previous day, but nowadays early cholecystectomy or emergency cholecystectomy is popular. Now, what is early cholecystectomy? The early cholecystectomy initial symptomatic treatment, that is nothing by mouth, IV fluid, analgesic, antibiotics, and regular follow-up of the patient for any deterioration of the clinical symptoms or appearance of any complications. If the patient is stable, then cholecystectomy is done at the next available operation day. Now, what is emergency cholecystectomy? Emergency cholecystectomy means the patient needs operation as early as possible. If the patient presented with empyema gallbladder or presented with gangrenous cholecystitis or perforated gallbladder with severe peritonitis, or if initial conservative treatment fails to reduce the symptom, then emergency cholecystectomy done as early as possible. So this is the second option of cholecystectomy for acute cholecystitis. Now, what is routine cholecystectomy? Initial conservative treatment was done and patient may be allowed to home for complete subsidence of inflammation for 6 weeks. Then routine cholecystectomy is done. So this routine cholecystectomy after conservative treatment was practiced previous day. Nowadays, most of the surgeon practice early cholecystectomy or emergency cholecystectomy. Now, operative management. The operation is for operation, it is very important that the operation should undertaken within 5 to 7 days of onset of attack, and the surgeon is experienced and the excellent operating facilities are available. So, for early cholecystectomy and emergency cholecystectomy, this criteria should be fulfilled. That operation should be done within 5 to 7 days of onset of attack, and the surgeon is experienced enough and the excellent operative facilities are available. Now, what will be the operative procedure? There are two options, either open procedure or laparoscopic procedure. So, the surgeon will decide whether the patient is treated either open or laparoscopy. For emergency and early cholecystectomy, the open procedure is favorable because the gallbladder is infected and inflamed and surroundings is also inflamed, and gallbladder may be surrounded or adhere with omentum and other structure. So the open procedure is favorable for early and emergency cholecystectomy. But for routine cholecystectomy after 6 weeks, the laparoscopic cholecystectomy is the gold standard method like chronic cholecystitis. But the experienced surgeon may perform laparoscopic cholecystectomy in early and emergency procedure. So, how can you differentiate acute cholecystitis from chronic cholecystitis? It is very common question of viva table and also in the case. How can you differentiate acute cholecystitis from chronic cholecystitis? We want student should answer by following ways. You should start from the history, from chronic cholecystitis and acute cholecystitis. In chronic cholecystitis, patient may be presented with colicky abdominal pain, and the duration of the pain is minutes to few hours, and the pain is not associated with fever. But in case of acute cholecystitis, the severe constant upper abdominal pain is present, and the duration of the pain is more than 12 hours, and the pain is associated with fever. On examination, you may find in chronic cholecystitis the temperature is not raised, mild tenderness present in the right hypochondrium, and no palpable mass. Muscle guarding and rigidity is absent, and Murphy's sign is also negative. But in case of acute cholecystitis, the temperature will be raised and tenderness is severe in right hypochondrium. Palpable mass may be present in the right hypochondrium, and muscle guarding and rigidity is present. And finally, the Murphy's sign is positive. And in investigation, what will be the differentiating point? In chronic cholecystitis, neutrophilic leukocytosis is usually absent, and the ultrasonography findings are gallbladder not distended, the lumen contains single or multiple echogenic structure casting posterior aquastic shadow, and in case of acute cholecystitis, neutrophilic leukocytosis is present. And what are the ultrasonography findings? In ultrasonography, gallbladder is distended, thick and edematous gallbladder wall, and pericholecystic collection is present. And echogenic structure may be impacted at the neck of the gallbladder casting posterior aquastic shadow. So dear student, because of the less common topic, the